Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Thousands of Jamaicans to benefit from state assistance and policy adjustments. Supreme Court grants interim injunction blocking Portmore Parish law from taking effect. And later in sports, high jumper Raymond Richards wins Jamaica's first medal on opening day of World Indoor Championships in China. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. Thousands of Jamaicans are in line to benefit from state assistance and policy adjustments in the coming weeks. Our reporter Dwayne Anderson watched the Prime Minister's presentation in which the announcements were made and filed this report.
The dividends of good governance is how Prime Minister Andrew Holness described the policy decisions he announced in Gordon House on Thursday. And among those getting a payout from those dividends will be vulnerable Jamaicans not on PATH or any other social assistance program.
As we continue our mission to build a stronger and more inclusive Jamaica, we recognize that many of our citizens are in need, but do not benefit from any existing government program. To address this, we are introducing the $1 billion Solidarity Program. And in its first iteration, we will be providing a one-time cash grant of $20,000 to 50,000 vulnerable individuals.
The 50,000 beneficiaries of this $20,000 to $50,000 one-time cash grant will include youth not in school, elderly residents who are suffering, disabled or sick Jamaicans, or small business owners who have suffered loss due to a natural disaster. Minimum wage earners were also not left out, another increase for them, meaning the JLP administration has overseen a near 160% increase in minimum wage since they took office in 2016.
We are pleased to announce that starting from June 1, 2025, the national minimum wage will increase from $15,000 per 40-hour work week to $16,000 per 40-hour work week. This represents a 6.7% increase, reinforcing our commitment to improving the livelihoods of our lowest paid workers while ensuring economic stability.
As for farmers, they are critical to the cost of living crisis impacting some Jamaicans and can ultimately help to reduce the price Jamaicans pay for their foods. Farmers are therefore to benefit from massive GCT cuts for some inputs.
I have therefore directed the Minister of Finance and Public Service to do the necessary amendment to the GCT Act to make seeds zero rated. We care for our farmers. We promote food security now, and we have to increase our international competitiveness and productivity.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
More news now from the Prime Minister's budget debate. Motorists, particularly those with new vehicles, will benefit from changes to the vehicle fitness regime. The details were revealed as Mr. Holness outlined a series of measures intended to make it easier to do business with government. O'Shane Masters reports.
There have been mixed reactions on social media following the announcements by Prime Minister Andrew Holness regarding the increased validity for road license and certificate of fitness. Over the past decades, there has been concern that the yearly renewals for both motoring documentation is an enabler to wasted time in government offices. It's why during his contribution to the 2025-26 budget debate, Mr. Holness made these pronouncements, which will come under the Speed Initiative, which he announced earlier this week.
The first certificate of fitness for a new motor vehicle will be issued for 5 years. For used vehicles, 10 years or less, the validity period for certificates of fitness will be 3 years. For vehicles older than 10 years, the current yearly renewal schedule will remain. Number 2, vehicle registration. Motorists currently have an option to renew motor vehicle registration for 6 months or for 1 year. We will be introducing a 2-year renewal option.
The Prime Minister, however, did not outline if, with the changes, the payments will have to be made one time or a payment plan could be initiated. In the meantime, Mr. Holness says amendments will be coming to the procurement process. He says the current regimen is a deterrent to productivity, which hinders economic growth.
While our stringent fiscal policies have successfully reduced debt and restored stability, the same controls that curbed wasteful spending now delay approvals, stall infrastructure projects, and hinder growth. These systems must be redesigned to meet today's development needs. Jamaica must now shift from merely controlling spending to enabling strategic growth. This does not mean abandoning accountability, but finding a balanced approach that safeguards public funds while allowing decisive action. The amendments to the Procurement Act are a step forward, but much more is needed. Just as we dominate track and field with our speed, we must make efficiency and ease of doing business our competitive edge.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
The Portmore Parish saga took yet another twist on Thursday after the PNP followed through with its plan to take the government to court over its push to make Portmore the country's 15th parish. The opposition is adamant the JLP-led administration is breaking the law. Details in this report.
The parliamentary opposition says it's pleased with the interim injunction that has been put in place by the Constitutional Court in relation to Portmore becoming a parish. The injunction was issued yesterday by Chief Justice Brian Sykes.
It's what we call an interim injunction because the matter has been adjourned till next week Friday when the argument will continue before the judge because the government side asked for some more time. But the judge has said you can't go any further with this thing for now. And we're very happy about that and we feel that that's the right decision and we thank the judiciary for standing up for justice and for the Constitution. Thank you.
The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, in a letter to Parliament, has stated that the proposed Portmore Parish boundary may negatively affect a provision of the Constitution. The letter, dated February 12, 2024, noted that the proposed Portmore Parish boundaries may negatively affect the boundaries of a constituency, as stated in the second schedule of the Jamaica Constitution Order in Council 1962. The letter also cited the section which states that, quote, the boundary of a constituency shall not cross the boundary of a parish as delimited by the Counties and Parishes Act or by any law amending or replacing that law, end quote. The government used its majority in both houses of Parliament to pass the Counties and Parishes Amendment Act 2025, granting parish status to the municipality. O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
To a TVJ News follow-up now, detectives assigned to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, CTOC, have charged 2 drivers employed to the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, with multiple counts of simple larceny. Charged are 34-year-old Chavez Brown, otherwise called Shab, and 38-year-old Shane Brown, otherwise called Shane. Chavez Brown is linked to the theft of 100 liters of fuel, while Dushane Brown is linked to the theft of 500 liters of fuel. CTOC investigators are probing whether the theft of fuel from the JUTC is linked to organized criminal elements. Residents of Enfield in St. Mary are appealing to the police to lift the restrictions. At a recent stakeholders meeting with the police, the residents voiced their concerns.
Since the start of the year, the St. Mary Police have embarked on a series of joint police and military operations targeting high-risk offenders, wanted individuals, and illegal activities. As part of the division's crime-fighting strategy, curfews have been imposed in several communities across the parish to include Enfield. But the residents say their livelihood is being affected and is calling for an ease of the restrictions.
I believe there should be some other plans that, despite of murder, the community can still function. The community can still function, because if something happens, you have a business plan. And, it takes community team to make a business work. And when somebody go commit a murder, all of your plans gone right down.
Miss Debbie had bad. And I said, find my phone with Debbie had good hands. Someone know when Debbie had free.
In response,
the reason for the security arrangement within Enfield is not just because of a murder, but a continuation of violence for a number of years. What we want to do at this time is to change the narrative. We want to change the culture, also the mindset of the youngsters.
As for when the entertainment sector will be reopened in the parish,
safety and security is paramount. So any event that we have in NP will have to have security presence at those events. So we'll work out those dynamics. I said Mr. Williams and the other members who, other stakeholders of the entertainment fraternity.
Thank you.
So we'll work that out.
In the meantime, the residents are calling for more collaboration with the police and the community.
We have a long-term problem within the community that we need to fix. But we are very committed to working with the community to fix those challenges.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
To another TVJ News follow-up. White River in St. Anne is almost free of illegal raftsmen. That's according to Police Chief Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell. The popular tourist attraction was closed on February 13.
Because of the public order situation that was existing in the White River, we had some very serious concern ourselves from law enforcement. And so, as you're aware, the White River came into prominence back in 2023 March, where we led a collective operation to rid the area of illegal rafting operation. Unfortunately, the situation resurged and we had to revisit it, the area.
SSP Powell says another operation was carried out.
In collaboration with the Tourism Product Development Company, we partnered with them and other agencies in doing some closure notice. So the notice were properly erected, and we're very pleased. And I just want to use the opportunity to express my sincere thanks and commendation to the rafters in the area. They have complied with the instruction to leave the area. So the area is almost free.
Now, when we visited the area last week, the only activity we noticed was from the sole licensed operator. SSP Powell says the police will continue to monitor the space. And it's now time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back. We're continuing the news. A 24-year-old farmer from Retirement District in St. Elizabeth died at the Black River Hospital on Thursday afternoon from injuries he received in a motor vehicle accident on the weekend. Dean Watson was driving a Toyota Axio from Magotty towards Lacovia about 12:40 Saturday morning. It's not clear how he lost control of the motor car on the Horton Main Road, but the vehicle reportedly swerved to the right side of the road, crashed into an embankment and overturned. Mr. Watson, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was flung from the car. He was taken to a hospital where he was admitted in serious condition and died days later. It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Bank of Jamaica is reporting that net remittance flows to Jamaica declined from $3.26 billion in 2021 to $3.128 billion last year. The central bank also noted that this took place, although total outflows dipped to US $229.4 million last year from US $237.1 million during the year 2021. Now, the decline was mainly due to a fall in total inflows from $3.479 billion US dollars in 2021 to US $3.357 billion last year. Further afield, the European Union is delaying its proposed tariffs on imports from the United States. Now, the first phase of revenge tariffs was set to begin April 1st, after the US imposed a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports earlier this month. But on Thursday, the Commission said instead of 2 phases, the tariffs will begin on April 13th. More than $28 billion worth of American goods, including motorboats, motorcycles, whiskey, beer, and produce will be impacted. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region, nearly 15 years after Haiti experienced a cholera outbreak that infected over 820,000 people, killing 10,000 others, the French Caribbean Community country is reporting new cases. The Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCCA, says it is concerned about cholera with new suspected cases being reported daily. Since the beginning of the year, more than 900 suspected cases and 4 confirmed cases have been recorded nationwide. More than 100 suspected cases have been reported in the past 3 weeks, and the deteriorating security situation has hindered access for surveillance teams and response efforts, raising concerns about undetected community transmission. On the international scene, London's Heathrow Airport, one of the world's busiest, has shut down due to a significant power outage. Heathrow officials said a large fire at a nearby electrical substation triggered the power outage. London Fire Brigade says there is no power at Terminal 2 and 4, as well as 5,000 homes nearby. Dozens of firefighters and 10 fire engines are responding to the scene. According to flight tracking website Flight Radar 24, at least 1,351 flights to and from the airport in West London could be cancelled today. Counter-terrorism police are investigating the fire as a precautionary measure. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Nakinski Robinson.
And we head to another break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.